Hello, and welcome to Idle Champions Presents Vecna Lives. Part of our 5th anniversary celebration, I am so excited to be your DM today. I'm Erin M Evans. I am a content designer for Idle Champions, and I'm also the author of the Brimstone Angels saga and the forthcoming Empire of Exiles. And here we have a great group of adventurers ready to take on the Whispered One. Why don't we start with what I can see on my screen, Vee.
Hey everyone, I'm Vee Mus'e. You know me here at Codename as the Partner and Talent Manager. I'm also a professional DM, player, and miniature painter in the D&D realm, and today I am playing Voronika, your Dark Lord of Koshmar.
Okay, let's do Noura.
Hi everyone, I'm Noura Ibrahim, also known as Neurological on the internet. I'm a professional nerd, mostly in this TTRPG space. I'm also a cosplayer. I make sometimes TikTok videos. And today I am playing Nahara, who is a reborn Fallen Aasimar undead warlock with a few levels of College of the Spirit Bard.
All right, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator here at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. But when I'm not the content coordinator, I'm usually playing Orkira Illdrex, who is a cleric of the Phoenix. Don't ask, it's complicated.
I am Masood.
Hi, everyone. I'm Masood. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Maroodboy, MAHRUDEBOI. I'm an actor, director at Second City, video editor, and I also play Gazrick Nomrad, everyone's favorite socialist businessman druid construct. And I'm so excited to be here with everyone and to be here. Oh, his pronouns are he, him. And yeah, to see what Vecna's got. What are these deals he's offering? You know, what's up for on the table?
I love the way you describe Gazrick.
It's the only way to.
All right. So, Candlekeep, the Castle of Tomes, one of the greatest repositories of knowledge in the realms. The fortress library on the edge of the Sword Coast has stood against multiple onslaughts by those who would take control of its gathered wisdom, protected by a high stone wall, dedicated wizards, and a series of protective wards that prevent incursion, theft, and every library's greatest fear, fire. But this time, something has gone wrong. The Keeper of Tomes, the head sage of Candlekeep, has called for aid via ascending. The wards are damaged. Someone is trying to break into Candlekeep. A second sending sent to clarify this call for aid. Who is attacking? Which of the wards have fallen? Have the Avowed of Candlekeep gotten control of the situation? Has produced only one line in answer. Candlekeep will fall. So, you heroes, you champions, have been sent by the Open Lord of Waterdeep herself to secure Candlekeep and find out what is going on. You know that you are not supposed to be able to teleport into Candlekeep proper. There is specifically a ward that prevents this. So when the Open Lord's office dissolves around you, and it is not the gates of the library fortress that form around you, but a dark, shelf-lined room, it is clear that Candlekeep is in trouble. This darkened space, bookshelves line the walls, but their contents have been strewn to the floor between 3 small tables, clearly study areas. Probably the books have been knocked on the floor by the skeletons, who are presently attacking a group of terrified Candlekeep scholars. The bravest of those are holding up books to try and block them, but it is clear they are not prepared for this, and the skeletons are rapidly chewing through those meager defenses. So, everybody, roll initiative.
Coming in hot.
That's a lot of books.
Ooh.
That's a 14 for Nika.
Hey.
16 for Gazrick.
18 for me.
Nice.
11 for Orkira. I've missed my cleric dice roll, and yes.
I had a +0 on that, so I'm very grateful for what I got.
Nice.
Okay, so Nika have 14. Can you tell me these again?
Gazrick got 16.
Okay. And Nahara?
Orkira got 11. Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Orkira, 11.
Nahara got an 18.
18, okay. Okay. Okay, so Nahara, you are going first.
We see how many?
There are 6 skeletons, and I do need you to do one thing for me. Make me an acrobatics check.
Oh, okay. 24.
Okay. The books strewn on the floor threaten to throw you off balance, but you step lightly over them. And go ahead and...
So I look towards one that's, I'm guessing, is like right near a shelf, or you there. That's incredibly rude. People have taken lots of time out of their day to put those in order. And I like hurl, you know what? It's the first round for a warlock. Let's do an Eldritch Blast.
All right.
Except I rolled a 1. So
no!
it is a 9 to hit.
The blast streaks past the skeleton, hits the empty shelves, but you've got its attention now.
Cool. And as you see it, like it just fizzles out of my head. You startled me. That's why.
All right, Gazrick, make me an acrobatics check.
Okay, absolutely. That sounds about right. Natural 3.
Okay. The books are very difficult to move through.
Sure.
For you, this is difficult terrain.
Fall down real fast as I come through. It's fine. No, it's okay. It's all right. I take all my effort to get like just barely behind Nahara. Am I within 30 feet of these skeletons?
Yes, the room itself is 30 feet to a side.
Okay.
So it's a fairly small room that you're all crammed into.
Perfect. It's fine. It's slippery. There's books everywhere. But hey, buddies, come on. It doesn't look like they want to be with you here. Come chat over here. And I will thorn whip the one that is closest to me and try to pull it over to us.
Okay.
Okay. A 21 to hit.
That does hit.
Nice. And then I'll roll 2 d6s. Okay, 6 total damage.
All right. And that pulls the skeleton over to you, correct?
Yes, yeah.
All right. It is that skeleton's turn. So it is going to swing its short sword at you.
Okay.
Very ineptly. It rolled a 5.
Nice.
So... and that is Voronika's turn.
All right, so she looks at these skeletons and she kind of just rolls her eyes as she picks up her staff, and the staff has a very unique gnarled look to it, and at the end there's this very withered up gnarled hand as she goes to swing at the closest skeleton. I'd far more prefer you in my garden than in my face. And she'll do an acrobatics check first, and that is going to be a dirty 20.
Nice.
That'll do it. This is nothing to you.
And then she's going to go in with this staff double-handed and go and swing at the closest skeleton to her. That is going to be a 14 to hit. Will that make
hits.
contact?
Totally
Ooh, lovely.
hits.
Then that is going to be a total of 5.
Okay. Did not like that. Which is why it's going to try and attack you back with its rusty short sword. That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, it does 3 damage.
'Tis but the scratch.
The sages that are sort of on the floor and trying to hide behind the tables are clearly freaking out. For the record, they are screaming and hyperventilating. Many of them show signs of injuries. It is Orkira's turn. Make me an acrobatics check.
This is a lot of books. I can see why Alindra and Stacia want to come here. But I got 24.
Why would you have trouble walking on books?
No, in fact, I got my own, and you shouldn't use books to block things, but here, I'll use mine. And she's going to pull out her holy symbol and move within, I think it's 30 feet of as many of these skeletons as possible. And she's going to go, nope, 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 nope. I'm going to turn undead because
All right.
Why wouldn't I? I need all of them to make wisdom saving throws, DC 19.
Okay.
And I if they're skeletons, I might actually destroy them.
Okay. It's not looking good for the skeletons.
Nice.
Okay, one of them made it.
Okay. The ones that failed, are they CR1 or lower?
They are.
So my destroy undead kicks in, and those that have failed, instead of running away from me, fire just consumes their feet and burns all the way up them like they're paper mache, and they go. The one that succeeded just continues to stand there, and that's the one that I said nope to last. I'm like, I almost got them all. I'm a little rusty with this, and I'll put my book away.
Okay. That one is right beside you, so it is going to make a swipe with its short sword, snarling at you. It rolls a 5. It might still be a little afraid of you, even if the spell didn't quite take. The other skeletons have been sort of burnt to ash, but while it feels in the moment like you are going to be able to clear out that one last skeleton, one of the scholars sits up, starts to point towards one of the open doorways, and you hear a horrible howling babble, an incoherent, broken language that fills your ears, and everyone needs to make me let me double check this. It's not quite loading. A wisdom saving throw.
Ah.
I have advantage on wisdom against. Is it a magical ability?
I guess so.
Okay.
I feel like it must be if it's going
I
to
would
drive you crazy.
imagine, maybe. Okay.
You know.
Thank goodness with advantage, I'll get a 16 plus 9.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was a 4 plus
Ooh.
9. I did not trust.
Did anybody get below a 14?
Oh, dirty 20.
You're all very, very solid people for this, because this creature of sort of tattered shadows boils out of the debris by the door, and hovers there in the air. Behind it, 3 more skeletons appear.
Oh, more?
More.
Is this gonna be the whole, like, it's just books and undead?
It's very hard to talk to them. They only have one goal, and that's not to be undead.
It's completely unreasonable.
Absolutely.
Well, they're empty-headed. What do you expect?
I mean, also, that's my goal, is for them to not be undead, so at least we're on the same page.
Right. Just different methods.
Exactly.
All right. Nahara, it is your turn.
Nahara, looking at this new creature you said was hovering.
Yes.
How high above is it hovering?
It's not a very big room, so it's only kind of hovering a couple feet off the ground. It doesn't seem to have feet, so this may be the only way it can move around.
Well, Nahara is a bit miffed at her flubbed roll last time, so she takes on her form of dread. So she levitates ever so slowly off the ground to meet eye level with this creature. And her black plumed wings become spectral flames as her eyes become white. And she says to this creature, "Oh, you will not be so lucky this time." As she takes out the hilt of this sword, and as she takes it out, whoosh, a giant flamed blade exposes itself. And as she swipes with her sun sword, she'll go for the neck.
So one quick question.
Yes.
Is the sun sword doing fire or radiant damage?
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks fiery, but it does radiant damage.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, it's very
For
glowy.
reasons.
It's matches my wings.
All right. And sorry, what was the attack roll?
Attack roll is a 19 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay, so that is... Whoops, that was my teacup. 10 points of damage.
All right.
Behind you, Orkira is watching this transformation, and the sword and everything is like, oh, Desmond said you were cool, and that's cool.
And then since it took damage, I think it needs to make and during my form of dread, it needs to make a wisdom save.
Right. It rolls a 19. Oh, sorry. It's a 22.
Oh, okay. It's all good. Nothing happens to it.
It glowers at you, darkly glowing eyes, like, oh, okay, it's on. Okay. Gazrick, it is your turn. The skeleton that was before you did burn up.
Yeah.
Completely.
Thank you, Orkira. And then I turn around. There's like one skeleton left from the original group, and then this new creature and 3 additional ones.
Yep.
And do we think if we take out the big one, the small ones will fall?
That's usually how it works, yes.
Okay. It's just rule of thumb, I guess. And then I'm going to cast Primal Savagery on myself, making my nails grow exceptionally long. And kind of, you see the dirt extend, and then they grow clear because it's actually new nail growth. Start dripping green poison. And then I will use my bonus action to cast Flame Blade on myself. So then they are now on fire.
Okay.
So
something does happen when you cast the Flame Blade.
Okay.
2 little creatures that look sort of like kind of like little sprites.
Yeah.
Pop up and go, no fire, and this strange foam-like stuff blasts your sword, and the fire goes out.
Okay. My hands.
But your hands go out.
My hands.
What the heck?
Oh no, there's not even the soap around. Fine. And then I'll try and scramble with these foamy claws towards this creature and jump out and make an attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have to make another acrobatics check because I'm traversing these books?
Oh, it is difficult terrain for you.
Okay, cool. I'll use all my movement to get there. And then I'll just make the attack. 19 plus 9, 28.
Excellent.
And I will only do 2d10 damage. 11.
All right. It does not like that.
See what I can get.
Again, the creature screams, although this time it is not kind of a brain-melting scream. It's just a normal, annoying scream, which kind of blends in with the panicking scholars. It is... That one's dead. Voronika's turn.
All right, so the skeleton I was attacking is gone, correct?
Oh, it's very gone.
Lovely. Then she's going to go up to the big baddie that is also in the room with her staff. She's going to take a swing at them, two-handed.
All right.
And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
Totally hits.
Okay, then you're going to see this staff sort of takes on this black smoky effect, and the finger sort of does a snapping action as you hear this pop through the air, and she's going to do some extra damage. So let's see here. It's going to do some original damage as the staff itself. That is going to be 3 from the staff, but she's also going to add on an extra 11 of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Using the Staff of Withering, one of the charges.
So when you set off that charge, you see that necrotic energy kind of flow over the creature, but it almost seems to disappear into its tattered shadow. It kind of liked it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to find out. So cool.
Orkira, it is your turn.
And I've still got the one skeleton that's
saved
saved in front of me.
You've got the one skeleton that's like...
It's doing that, and I'm like trying to look around it, going, what were the things? What were those other things that attacked us? What was that? Would you get out of my way? And I want to move in a way, because I don't know how far the other 3 skeletons and this smoky creature are.
It's a very small room. All of these things are within 30 feet of you.
Sure.
Okay. Could I get to a spot in where at least the new people, the skeletons in the shade have shown up? They're all within like 5 feet of me?
Yeah. You just have to
Awesome.
use your movement to get there because you made your check, so you're scrambling on the books just fine.
Yeah. I kind of flap and very awkwardly get over the books as I fly on over. I'm gonna plop down so that I'm within 5 feet of the skeletons and this smoky creature. I need them all to make Constitution saving throws. As when she lands, she stamps her foot and goes, "No, not here! I thought we were done with this."
Okay. The creature does not make it. The skeletons are surprisingly tough. That one makes it. You said, what was it that it had to make?
DC 19 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Okay, one of the skeletons made it. Everybody else fails it.
All right. Everyone who failed takes 12 radiant damage as out from my foot, this burst of light comes circling around me. And whatever is left, I'm just going to look at disappointed and then look back at Gazrick and say, what happened to the ones that attacked you?
Those flying things? I don't know. They just sprayed foam on my hands.
Ew.
Rude.
Yeah, we should watch out for those too.
Mm-hmm. They might be in cahoots.
I mean, they put out your fire hands. They absolutely
it
are in
rude.
cahoots.
It was very rude.
Yeah.
Your stomp shatters two of the skeletons completely. They are destroyed. Obviously does not feel good on the tattered shadow creature, but it is still up. And that skeleton you shoved out of the way is just like...
Is that the the only one that's left?
There's actually one more that's with the Alep.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, the one that is next to the Alep is going to attack Orkira. For a 17.
Yep, that hits.
And it's going to 4 damage with this little short sword.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay, so the shadowy creature did not like what you just did to it, Orkira. And it's actually, let's see, it's going to start making this sort of whispery sound. And Gazrick, Orkira, and Voronika, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
24.
And I'm just gonna play
23.
This is a magical ability again. Just
Yeah, let's say it is. Because I think this thing is basically all magic.
okay, cool. Because that nat one would have been terrible. It'll get an 11 plus 9, dirty 20.
Okay, so we got a dirty 20, and so nobody got under a 14, right? Okay. So these sort of whispers kind of crawl over your brain, but pass through you without taking effect. And it is Nahara's turn.
Remind me how many skeletons are...
There are 2 skeletons, and then this shadowy creature.
Okay. I would like to swoop down over one of the skeletons and attack it while casting Booming Blade.
Okay.
So that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Totally hits.
Unfortunately is only 8 points of radiant damage, but now they are surrounded. What is the description here? Yeah, it's now, if it moves, bad stuff will happen. bad thundery things will happen to it if it attempts to move.
Connective tissue anymore. Gazrick, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, what do we do here? This is you don't like when you get hit with stuff. You don't like the radiant damage. Let's just try again, because you didn't like getting stabbed. Okay. And I'm gonna cast Primal Savagery again. Gonna save my spell slot. And gonna just try and make another attack on it.
Okay.
I got a 10 plus 9, 19.
That hits.
Nice. And then 7 damage, again, poison. Another quick swipe with the nails.
Is it entirely poison damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's acid damage, I should say.
Okay.
Ooh, I also forgot that skeleton that I hit has to make a wisdom save.
Oh! All right. We'll do that in just a second. Yep. So, Gazrick, tell me how this thing dies.
Yes. Gazrick gets ready. He jumps and at some moment, a book slips out from underneath him. It gives him a little extra momentum and is able to pierce through the other side, diving through, and then landing down again, face first on some books. Okay, are we done now? Is it over?
The creature screams and dissolves into the air. The skeleton got a 6 on that wisdom check.
It is now frightened.
Okay, I love that. That skeleton is the only one left, I believe, based on this. Yeah. It's going to try to. It's on its. Okay, wait. Actually, I take it back. I'm jumping ahead. Voronika, it is your turn. There's one skeleton left now.
She's gonna basically wail on the one skeleton with her staff. Again, two-handed. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at 5 damage.
That's exactly what you need.
Oh, sweet.
How's that skeleton go down?
Did you say how's the skeleton go down?
How does it go down? Do you want to do anything fancy?
She basically just sort of like spins the staff in her hand and does a quick snap of her wrist and knocks the head clear off, and the rest of the body just sort of collapses down upon itself. I'll have to find the skull later. That'll be good for the garden.
So the undead have been dealt with. There are several scholars. They're looking around. There's about 5 of them in here, who are looking around as though they can't quite be sure that they're safe. One of them, a young man, sort of stands up and goes, who are you?
Hi. We're sent to help.
I had a little bit of a problem.
How did you get in here? Did you come in all the way from the gates? Are the gates safe?
Oh no.
No.
We
Portal
portaled
saved
in.
us.
Yeah.
We did a thing we weren't supposed to do, but we did it to get here faster.
Mm-hmm.
The scholars sort of look at each other. You get the sense you are all very insightful characters, I have to say. You get the sense that they are, seriously, I wrote down your passives. My God, you guys. All in tune.
Those wisdom-based characters, yeah.
Okay, they're like, something has very clearly gone wrong. Our party has destroyed some undead that have been ransacking Candlekeep's shelves, and now they're going to try to figure out what the heck is going on. You guys are still in that small library room. Books all over the floor, the remains of 9 skeletons and a thingy, and 5 terrified scholars.
Hey, so what the heck is going on?
One of the scholars stands up. She is clearly been injured. She's got kind of claw marks on her arms and a bandage that she's sort of tying around one eye and the back of her head. She says, they're just everywhere. I told you the teleportation word had to be down, she says to the guy who's like, that's not possible. Something's happened. There's just every room, every library has creatures pulling books off the shelves and attacking anybody who gets close.
What do you think they're looking for?
A book?
I suppose we asked the obvious.
Seem like the reading type.
Right. I was like, I'm all down for a public library, but this whole program seems a little aggressive how they're going about it.
And this is one of those reward things. Read so many books, get so many points, and then you get to claim something.
Right. Is there a program that's happening in Candlekeep that's rewarding, like a summer reading program?
No.
No. Okay, so there's no incentive from Candlekeep for them to be reading right now.
Or is there like a specific undead thing? Like, are they looking for...
Just like, what's the call, man? Why are they here?
Necromancer trying to game the bucket system to get as many mini pizzas as possible. Hang on, guys.
I shall raise an undead army and get all the points.
This is how you get a pizza
punch
party.
card, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, and they're definitely not supposed to teleport in. The young man who started speaking before asking how the heck you got here was like, well, then the wards must be down.
Not all of them, apparently.
Mhm.
Well, thank goodness. Can you imagine if a fire broke out? I mean, there's a reason we have that ward.
It makes sense, yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's logical.
And then realizing her form of dread still up, just goes, "Pfft, those aren't real, by the way." Back to like black feathers.
that's what the pixies were, the sprites, the little things with the fire extinguishers. That was I thought that was a bad thing.
We thought it
Mhm.
was a fun way to tell people no open flames. Little
Yes, but there's so
pixie.
many other different kinds. There could be water damage from a flood. There
Mhm.
could be, I mean, do you have wards for those as well?
No,
What about shatter? I mean, that's going to shred things apart.
the young
Mhm.
man is like, I've been telling them this. I've been telling them this. I'm Oshan. I study the wards. But
Okay.
if you're
So-
here to fix
To,
it.
to help. I mean, we can just go around to every room and destroy a bunch of undead, but if there's a ward that's supposed to keep them out and they keep
Oh,
coming,
yes.
maybe we should go do the ward thing?
Oh, that's
Right?
smart.
Yes,
Yeah.
that does make sense. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
And then we can go around
teleportation.
destroying undead, which makes me happy.
It's nice. Little bit of house cleaning.
Yeah.
The young woman beside him stands up and says, the wards are in the tower we call the Silent Stone. I kind of ran from near there, and that was the direction that I saw the Janusi, the keeper of tomes, and Alchrist running. Like maybe something was going on there. There's a lot of undead between here and there, though.
I have a lot of oh no, wait. I mean I have a lot of fire. That's gonna be a problem.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes.
Are there
Yeah.
a lot of people in trouble along the way, or could we maybe, I don't know, kind of not deal with them, like sneak around them?
Well, we all ran here. I think that's what most of the scholars are going to do. That's what we're supposed to do. It's just
Okay.
a lot of us aren't, magically inclined. We're a little bit new at this.
So you're helpless little lambs.
No, I
Okay.
made it here okay. She kind of cradles her.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the one with the bandage over their face?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But it does sound like you could use our help.
I think they're right. I think the only way is to get the wards back up.
Do we get a pizza party, even though we've not read all of the books?
Ooh.
And that's a question for the Keeper of Tomes. I am not high level enough to make that decision, but I would think so.
I'm sure we could work something out, right?
That's perfectly reasonable.
Absolutely. We should each get a pizza.
You would, one might say, a personal pizza. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, and then we can
Mhm.
all pick our own stuff to have on
Oh.
it. Oh, that'd be
Different
good.
toppings.
Yeah. I'm here for this pizza reward. Okay, so
Yes.
how do we
Yes.
get to the Silent Stone Tower place?
The injured girl stands up. She's like, I can take you there.
Okay.
How injured does
Orkira.
she look?
Just a little bit. She's she can walk. She can definitely walk.
Okay.
But something definitely like kind of gouged the side of her face and kind of tore up her arms like she was defending against it.
I'm gonna come on over and put my claw on her shoulder and go, that'd be great if you could lead us. And it's gonna look like it lights up with fire, but it is healing that she's doing. And it'll be one of those in where she starts to heal and then realizes what it looks like and then is just frantically like, nope, it's not.
One of the little fire suppression pixies appears and goes,
No, there's no smoke. It's not fire. You can go
and
away now.
I am gonna do a cure wounds out of my book for her, so she's gonna get not bad, 9 health back.
right. She does not have a lot of hit points to start with, so we'll say that is enough to make the wounds close. And she kind of goes like this and sort of pulls it back up and blinks, and she goes, "Wow,
Yeah.
really powerful heroes."
You know, fire is a good thing when we're not surrounded by flammable things.
The guy is standing
You
next
make
to
that sound like a
Roshan.
bad thing. Fire and flammable things.
I mean,
The guy
it's,
standing next to her is like,
I think we're supposed to save this place, not destroy it. I think.
I'm not saying destroy. I'm just saying sometimes little fire is fun.
Yeah.
Well, that
I'd
we
agree with
agree
that.
on. Yeah,
Absolutely.
but maybe not here, I guess.
I mean, it's sometimes even good for the nature. You got some prairie grasses that need to be burned down and for regrowth. Obviously, you don't do that
Exactly.
with books, right? You can't
No.
regrow books.
no.
No, but every so often you do need to raise a forest here or there.
Yeah, or a whole world.
Right.
No comment.
Well, if you could lead the way, please, and
Yes.
we promise not to burn anything we're not supposed to.
That would probably be best.
We promised to
there's lots
try
of
not to burn
very
anything.
precious
I
and
said-
important knowledge in
I
these
said
books.
try.
All right. As you start to leave, there's a sudden clatter of footsteps and the sound of something sort of striking the door frame. When you look, it's not the undead that you might have feared. It is a woman wearing the robes of a Candlekeep scholar in purple and carrying her hands held up with lightning sort of pulsing in them. She has clearly been badly injured. Arkia says, "Avowed Irlin, are you all right?" But that woman has no eyes for Arkia. She's looking at the four of you. She goes, "How'd you get in here?"
We're gonna get that
We
question
snuck
a
in.
lot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I would
we-
be more concerned about what else snuck in here.
Exactly.
You can't be here. You can't be here unless you've given a book to Candlekeep. Those are the rules.
Oh, is that
Oh.
all? One moment, please. She looks
Actually-
through her, rummages through. Here we go. The Art of Ward.
And
Okay.
I donated an unauthorized autobiography of my fellow rival, Solis Historia, that was reviewed for a while. It's like one of the previous years. You can look me up, Gazrick Nomrad. I should be good. Like, I should be okay. I think this is my card. Digging
My
through his
family
beard.
donated one of the wings to this place after all. In Sylvanas'
Alright.
name.
Let me have some persuasion checks for those of you who have not handed her a book.
Orkira's put her holy symbol, which is her book, under an armpit and is like frantically digging
Yeah.
through her bag.
No, it's an at
How's
one.
a 27?
I like that. The
Oh.
27 next
Oh.
to mine.
And just
The Naperstayankas?
oh,
Hello.
Right. Okay. Yes. So these people are with you?
Absolutely.
I mean, I should be allowed to be here by myself. I don't see. It wasn't fully authorized. Like, we didn't have an authentic editor, or the bindings were mainly glue I built myself. But there was a book.
That
I
sounds
vouch
like a
for him.
very
It was
precious
very
book.
entertaining to read.
Oh, okay. Just as long as we're not letting all of the norms and traditions of Candlekeep fall apart, just because we might be in trouble.
Orkira finally comes up from her bag holding like a tiny little book that looks really ragged and goes, "Oh, okay. I got Tusklug Volume 4. I have the whole series, but I mean this is the one I'd read the least. So, huh?
We're missing volume 4.
Perfect. Here you go. I promise it's it's straight from Rexingtrum. You can have it. I'll get another one."
Okay. All right. And Arkia is kind of like, okay, maybe you should stay here. And I guess the gates are in very, very bad shape. We should move. So having finagled your way into Candlekeep, she's going to lead you into the stacks. Candlekeep is a series of interconnected towers, and each one you pass through is a sort of library of its own. Every room you go into, though, has been ransacked, books pulled from the shelves, some scattered on the floor, some sort of stacked up, as though someone is looking for something and discarding what is useless to them. You pass into a narrow tower that's got sort of multiple levels of books, and as you pass by one of those stacks, something leaps out at you. Gazrick, this book lunges at you, and
Okay.
tries to take a bite out of you.
Oh my gosh.
It only rolls a 4 though.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Um,
Ugh.
That book I can burn, right?
That's a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Books don't eat people.
No.
all of you. Okay, so yeah, all of you are very insightful again. If you had to guess what was going on with this book, you would say it was afraid. But it is also attacking you. So roll me some initiative.
Oh.
Oh no. Poor book.
It's 6.
11 for me.
16.
19. Orkira kind of thinks she knows what this is.
Orkira, you get to go first.
Okay, all right. I spent a lot of time with Seisha's mimic Biblio. I know how to do this. Hey, buddy. Hey. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. You don't and she roots around in her bag and she pulls out some jerky and goes, "You don't have to eat people. It's fine. We got rid of the undead. Come on." Because I think she recognizes a mimic when she sees one.
The mimic kind of pulls itself forward on its cover, sniffs that jerky, grabs it in one bite, chews it up, and kind of scurries back as if observing you.
Yeah. We're just passing through. You're doing good. You're protecting all the books. You super surprised us. I mean, I had no idea you were right, everybody? No idea you were here. No,
No.
No,
really,
not at all.
yeah, really good
Sneaky
mimic.
little book.
Yeah. But we gotta go take care of all the bad people.
It hops forward a little and opens its cover, and you see words appear on the flyleaf. It says, "You're not book stealers."
No.
No. We're book givers
Mm-hmm.
from back there. If you just were with us a few moments ago.
It hops a little closer. It says,
They're looking for something. I bite so big.
Oh,
You-
yes.
pulls that last bit.
Very, very good. Do you know what they're looking for?
It opens again. It says,
They whisper.
whisper. So it repeats the whole page.
Do they write out whisper in all caps? Whisper.
It's very agitated.
Very loud
Mhm.
whispering.
Very loud.
The
whispering.
page clears, and then 2 words appear in quotation marks. Vecna lives.
Oh.
Oh.
Really?
He kind of peers over, says, "Do you know who that is?"
Yeah. I look over at Voronika. Yeah, right. That one.
Yes, that one.
No wonder there's undead everywhere. Oh.
That makes far more sense now.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally makes sense.
Yes, would someone like to catch me up, please?
Thank you. I didn't know how to say it.
Really nasty lich wizard
Oh.
dude person.
Oh, like my patron.
Nahara, think Aslan, but worse.
Aslan, worse. Ooh.
Yes. Think Aslan and Strudmush together. Then you get it close. Oh,
okay.
yes.
I know those names. That does not sound good.
Okay, well, yes, that would explain the undead then, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is real powerful, and a big problem, and does undead everywhere. What do we think Vecna could be looking for here? I mean, the last time I saw him, he was trying to take over all the Shadowfell, so why would you just be looking for a book? I'll look down at the mimic. Is there a book on Vecna here?
So many books.
On Vecna?
I can't read.
Oh.
You're doing a very good job of writing, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very impressive,
Yeah.
honestly.
It seems inappropriate for me to read other books. It's like pulling guts out.
That's fair.
Oh.
Very considerate.
I'll look at the guide that's come with us. Is
Mhm.
there a bunch of books about Vecna?
I don't know. There's a lot of books about everything. It sure sounds like well,
Is there a history section along the way that we'll be walking past?
we could go through that library, yeah. And
This is
What
usually the
about
part where
books
I
that are
say
not-
to the library, but we're already here.
So it's kind of
I'm
everywhere.
more curious in
right?
the books that you don't have open to the public. The ones that are kept in more of a private collection, one that maybe only a few select people would know about.
me too.
One that
And
Vecna would have to send an
only
entire undead
readers.
army to go searching for?
Precisely.
Well, if the wards are set so that you can't teleport in, and also that you can't take a book out. If those are down, we know the teleportation ward is down, but I don't know about the theft ward. So if those are not in place and someone finds the book, they could take it. If that's what they're doing. And I'm not gonna lie, it does seem like, I know that sometimes my teachers tell me I jump to conclusions a little too quickly, but it doesn't seem like a crazy thing to suggest that they're looking for a book.
But do you have a section on forbidden knowledge?
We have 16.
Oh,
Are they all-
that
that doesn't narrow it down very well, does it?
does get us to 16.
What about based in
though.
necromancy?
Oh,
42. What? There are a lot of books in this library.
Immortality and necromancy.
That one I'm not allowed to look up.
That's
do
the
you
one
know-
we should probably find
We
out.
should stop
that
there.
one.
Yeah, do you know where it is?
The readers would know. It's too bad you can't just ask the skeletons what they're looking for.
No, I don't speak to that kind of undead.
No.
I can speak to other dead, but not
I
that
could
kind.
speak to dead, but I don't know about undead. Although I'm technically... Oh, don't be alarmed. I am sort of undead.
Just
I'm
a skosh.
I
Just
mean-
just a little.
bit.
You look
Oh,
very
okay, okay.
good.
I've,
Just a little tiny bit.
I've gotten used to dealing with complicated undead. You're fine.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Oh,
I'm glad
good.
we're squared away.
Same.
I
That's
just
why-
didn't want to keep that a secret. Like, oh, why didn't you tell me?
No, of course, of course.
It's good to know though, because then the next time I destroy a whole bunch of undead, just make sure you're like 35 feet away from me.
Oh, that would be delightful if you gave me a heads up.
Will do. Okay, to forbidden books, or do we go try to stop wards from being not worded?
It depends on what we think we could do faster, right? Like if we stop the teleportation, they can't get out. So we could get there to them beforehand. If our hunch is right, and this is where Vecna is, what's the point in stopping them from teleporting if we can just beat them up, right? So, I mean, I guess it really... I'm either way. I don't know what you all feel would be more important in this moment.
I just want to make something very clear. If we have the name of the book, we can find somebody who can locate it. But if we don't know what they want, I'm not sure how to find it. If we want to find the library where the super forbidden immortality and necromancy books are, we're going to have to convince one of the readers to do it, which means we have to find the readers. Which the last
means
I saw any of them, they were heading towards the wards.
Well, there we go. One problem at a time. We go do the wards and then we talk to the people. Gazrick, it sounds like that's the fastest thing.
Perfect.
Two birds. And
Trap
such.
the rat in the house, then kill the rat. Got it.
Game of cat and mouse is always fun
Sure.
anyways.
Do you
There's a
want
lot of
to
metaphors. Yeah.
go through the history section that's near here and see if you can find a thing about Vecna, or should we just go the straightest route to the words?
I think a
mean-
more direct route would be best if
If
time
the
is of
re-
the essence.
I do feel
Yeah.
like we're on a bit of a ticking clock here.
And if the readers are in that direction, they could point us. I think we know what we want to find if it's what Vecna wants to find.
And if we get really, really, really stumped, I might be able to do something to learn a lot about Vecna, but it's gonna suck.
Mhm.
So I'd rather not. So let's go to the tower.
All right, then.
So Orkira leads you through the spiraling levels of this library, across a little kind of sky bridge, and then down into another tower. This one, when you enter, you find a space that is sort of longer. This room is about 60 feet across from you, and there is a door at the opposite side. There are shelves that go to the ceiling, which is quite high here. Let's make it another 60 feet. And at the base of these shelves are ghouls pulling the books down, looking at them, dropping them, as well as two undead creatures that are sort of scaled up higher on the shelves. So as you come in, they sort of look up at you, and I need you to roll initiative.
It's gonna be one of those undead days.
11 for me.
9.
Okay.
14 for
20.
Orkira.
23 for Nika.
Incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess them up. All right. So, Voronika, it is your turn.
Okay, so what size is this room that we're dealing with?
So it's about 60 feet long. It's about 30 feet wide. And
Okay.
it's about 60 feet up. These are very tall shelves.
And are they clustered close to each other?
They are sort of spread out along the shelves.
Okay. Then she's gonna go to the closest ghoul.
Okay.
And yeah, she'll use her. Oh, she'll pull out the scimitar for funsies. So she's gonna swing at the ghoul with her scimitar. That is going to be a 26 to hit.
Super hits.
And that is going to be a total of 9 with the scimitar for damage.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
No, she's just gonna kind of focus herself on the ghouls right now.
Okay. The ghoul that you just attacked turns and swipes at you with its claws. It is a 21.
That hits.
Okay, that is going to be 6 slashing damage, and you are an elf, so the infection in the ghoul's claws does not take effect on you. Okay, the creatures that are clinging up to the shells kind of start to clamber down, both of them, but they are going to not be able to get close to you all. Orkira.
I'm gonna look over at Nahara and Gazrick and go, well, now that we know that things are really, really, really bad, who wants a death ward?
That's safe. Why not?
Okay. And I'll go for Gazrick because he spoke first. So
Yeah.
I put my hand on his shoulder. And so he's going to get a death ward. But the way that it works with Orkira is that fiery wings shoot out of your back, fiery, and then suck back in. So like if the sprites show up, the wings are already
show up
gone.
like,
death wards.
Oh.
Listen, everything I'm going to do is going to look like fire. You're just going to have to deal with it.
We're watching you.
Seriously,
okay.
just look for the smoke. If there's smoke, then it's fired. Leave her alone.
Also, there's ghouls and skeletons. Go hide somewhere.
And yeah, Gazrick, you are death warded, and I will take to the sky like 10 feet up and 5 feet back, and I will become Overwatch position and just keep an eye out for more stuff.
awesome. All right, Nahara.
How many are they all ghouls, or are they? Is this
There
a mixed bag
are-
situation?
4 ghouls and 2. Do you know things about undead?
I mean, well, sort
Yeah,
of.
They're
Yes.
Deathlock Whites.
Ah, okay. Well then, I am.
I feel at this point, Voronika and Nahara have probably met every kind of undead, but
we've met quite a bit.
Yeah, safe to say.
Quite
For
a bit.
reasons.
All right. I will turn to one of them as a bonus action. Will take on my form of dread, and I will hurl a witch bolt at one of them.
all right.
Let's see. I will do it at. All right. Let's do it a second. So let's see here. That is a 26 to hit.
That hits.
Let's do this at 2nd level. 17 points of lightning damage.
All right. You light that ghoul up. Bits of rotten flesh fly off of it.
Ooh. My bonus.
Gazrick. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
just might want to watch your eyes.
Gazrick.
Awesome. So they're alongside the bookshelves in front of us, along this like kind of like long hallway. And they're just all in front of us, right?
Mhm.
How wide is this hallway that we're in? It's like
It's about a 30-foot wide room.
okay.
And then 60 feet long to the other side of it.
Okay. I want to use tidal wave. So Gazrick takes a swig of water and then throws the rest on the ground in front of him, and as it falls in the air, begins to crash down into a wave. And I would love to like almost be a river and sort of like bounce between them because it's only 10 feet wide.
I will allow that because
Awesome.
it's awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
But they let's all just slam them to the back of the hallway, get to them when we need to get to them. They all make a dex saving throw of 17. And I will roll damage now.
Okay. Ooh, they're making very good rolls.
That's okay.
That little bit of undead flesh that
Two
Nahara
of them make it.
burst off, like the water just clears it off. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. So the two that make it only take 11, but the ones that fail take 22 damage and fall prone. As a torrent of water is called forth.
yes.
Yeah.
So two of these ghouls just like explode when the water hits them. The two that did not make it just but the water washes away all of that disgustingness.
Mhm.
And the other two that are left are very badly injured.
I turn to our guide and I said, now, see, this is why you should also maybe think about water wards, because there's going to be a lot of water damage to those books. And I can do this, which is why I did do this. But, you know, it sure it'll be fine.
But it's a learning experience, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Gazrick, I've heard of killing with kindness, but you killed them with cleanness. That's awesome.
Oh, into the book. Okay. I write it down. Talk about way. I will not credit you when I use that.
It's yours. Enjoy.
So one of those ghouls that you did not hit comes galloping towards you and slashes at you with its claws. Ooh, 24.
That'll beat my 10.
Okay, so you take 5 slashing damage and you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. Constitution saving throw.
Unless you are also a little bit undead.
No, but I get a 17 plus 1 on the save throw, so 18. Is that
That
okay?
is enough. It kind of burns, but
Thank goodness. I take 5 damage.
all right, Voronika.
Okay, so we're down to 2 ghouls now.
There's the ghoul that is in front of you is still up.
Mhm.
There are
Okay.
also 2 Deathlock Wights, which
Right.
had to climb down the.
Okay, how close together are the Deathlock Wights?
They are on
they on
opposite
opposite sides?
sides of the room.
They're on opposite sides. There's a couple things I want to do, but they're all spaced out so far. So I'm gonna focus on the ghoul. Stick with the ghoul I came with, and again, gonna go in with a scimitar and attack ghoul front and center. That is going to be a 22 to hit,
Super hits.
and that's a 7 total for damage.
Right. That ghoul collapses under the salt of your scimitar.
Nice.
One down, one to go.
So, at this point, the one of those wights turns to you, raises its hand, and sends 2 bolts of necrotic energy flying towards you, Voronika. Okay, so that one is not gonna hit. That's a 12. That one's a 9.
Misses.
Yeah, they both miss you.
Aren't you cute?
The second one is going to come towards, let's see, which of you should it attack?
I mean, I think it should just run away. I think at this point.
Yeah. It's okay.
Nahara, it is going to run up to you and reach out with both hands. That one is not. These are not rolling very well. A 6, a 15.
15 does not hit.
Okay, so it tries to grab hold of you. And,
Just smacking his hands away.
It is Orkira's turn.
I'm gonna take in the freshly cleaned room. We just have the 2 deathlock things left.
There is 1 ghoul and 2
Okay.
deathlock things.
I'll go after the ghoul. She looks for a second like she's gonna produce flame, and then goes, "Oh no, wait, I can't. Oh, all right, I'll do this one." And she just points at the ghoul and says, "You should have run away." And I needed to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 19.
It's a 9.
Awesome. My sacred flame means it's going to take 13 radiant damage.
Nice.
And is it still up?
No. You want to tell me how it goes down?
I tell it should have run away, and in that moment it actually looks scared and it starts to run and then just kind of vanishes. See, I told you. And that's all I'm gonna do for the moment, but I'm gonna continue to keep an eye out for more stuff.
All right, Nahara.
Well, I did not take any damage, and so my witch bolt is still up. I will hurl another witch bolt towards White's direction.
All right.
Ooh, that's a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
Does not hit.
All right.
That's all
Anything
for
else?
me. Nope.
Okay. Gazrick, is your turn.
And so
Ghouls
there
are
are
gone. It's just the 2 deathlock waves.
the 2 that
One-
deathlock.
One of which has thrown some kind of necrotic energy at Voronika, and one of
Mhm.
which is attacking Nahara.
Okay.
Or trying real hard to attack Nahara.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, I will. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be too much. I'm gonna cast spike growth on it. And so the ground underneath them becomes difficult terrain, and just like earth erupts. Gazrick takes a little bit of a twig from his beard, raises his hand, is okay, enough, and slams it on the ground in front of him, and it travels underneath, and then pops up
Okay. And
through.
how?
Yeah.
Sorry, how big is that area?
It is a 20-foot radius centered on a point. Becomes difficult terrain, and then any creature moves into or within the area takes 2d4 every 5 feet it travels.
Okay.
Mhm.
That feels like it should catch both of them.
Mhm.
And it doesn't roll until its turn.
Yes,
Or
it doesn't
things
roll
got
until
it.
its turn.
Okay. All right, Voronika.
Okay, well, since the one little deathlock said have fun, Voronika is going to sort of twirl her finger around, and through one of the windows, this beam of moonlight comes through, and she's casting Moonbeam directly on top of it.
Nice.
Mhm.
So that is going to take some radiant damage on the start of its turn.
Nice.
And it has to do a con save.
Okay. There we go. Okay, it is its turn. So,
Okay.
con save.
Con save of 18, please.
Ooh, yeah, it did a 9.
It got a 9.
You got a 9.
Oh, how cute. So then we're looking at 2d10 radiant damage. So that is going to be 9. That was a lousy roll. Yeah, 9.
And then 6
Of
from
radiant
the
damage.
thorns when it starts its turn.
All right. It's very mad at both of you.
Mhm.
It is going to send a. Sorry. Okay, it is going to send more of those bolts, one toward each of you. So the first one goes at Voronika for 14,
Misses.
and the second one goes at Gazrick for 12. That one hits.
Yeah, it beats my 10.
Okay. That is 9 necrotic damage.
I think Gazrick is now surprised a little bit. It's still okay, but oh, you actually hit me. Wow. Okay, now I get why I'm not front line. You guys, I'm just gonna take a step back. Oh, I have the death ward. It's fine. It's good. Okay, we're okay.
Yeah, but the whole goal is not to use it.
Oh.
That's the aim. Is it never needs to happen. But yeah,
Don't be reckless because you can be. I see.
See, you get it. I usually give death words to people, and then they're like, "Yay, I can run into danger." I'm like, "No, that's not the point. Thank you. Thank you so much."
It's like insurance. You never want to have it, but it's good that you do.
Speaking of, this library really needs some insurance.
Yeah.
Much works much better than a ward.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 5th word they really need to. All right. The other Deathlock White is going to actually it is going to suddenly seem to surge up and become something huge and terrible. Your worst fears embodied, and I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
30.
24.
I rolled a 21, but I'm also immune to being frightened.
Oh, great.
Oh.
So you're just like, what's happening here?
I'm like, oh, that's cute. Little slideshow.
They're trying so hard. You got to give them credit.
Difficult.
I rolled a 13, and I'm not immune to fear.
Well,
I rolled real bad.
Yeah.
good news. 13 is exactly what you needed.
Oh, okay, good.
So it tries very hard to frighten you.
But seeing
This is-
Gazrick like get why I give out death wards and validate me as a cleric just bolsters me just enough.
Okay, it is Orkira's turn.
And I'm gonna fly down to Gazrick and go, "Thank you so much because I super needed that." And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds out of my book. She pulls
Nice.
out her book, and once again, like the little sprites will show up because it's fire healing that comes out of her hand. And you get 7 health back. Where do you
Nice.
think you're the most damaged?
I think it's in my shoulder. I think like the bolt like kind of pierced through, so there's a little exit wound. But yeah.
I thought you were going to say just a little emotionally.
No. It won't heal fully yet. I'll have therapy for it, but that's fine.
That's good because I'm not that kind of cleric.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah.
So I'll touch you on the shoulder, and you'll watch as like a little tendril of fire goes into your wound, and then it's like it burns backwards, and you're healed for 7.
Wonderful.
And I am done.
All right, Nahara.
It is my turn. Let's see. We got one more white. One more.
There are
Deathlock?
2 whites. Both whites
Right.
are still up.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is levitate myself out of that difficult terrain that I'm also in. And let's see. At this point, I've got 2 Eldritch Blasts. So I'm gonna do a pew pew, just one and one.
All right.
So the first one is a 21 to hit
Yep.
for 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second one is a 26 to hit
Does that.
with another 11 points of damage.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then I don't know if it's immune to being frightened, but they'd also make a wisdom save if they got hit.
Ooh. Okay. Huh. $15?
That does not make it. So
And
they
10. They're both frightened.
are both frightened.
Wonderful.
Nahara is scarier than they are.
I'm downright terrifying.
Hey, Gazrick, it is your turn.
Wonderful. Okay. So they're still just sort of trapped underneath the moonbeam and in the thorns that are present. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna cast a Thorn Whip on one of them, and just sort of like try to. Well, let me read this correctly. Spike growth. Any creature that it says when a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 for every 5 feet of travel. So I want to pull this thing 10 feet towards me, and so let's see if I can. Hey, 13 plus 9. So 22. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna aim for the one that hit me. It's like,
Okay.
and I was like, okay, no. You can hit me, I can hit you. It's the only way that this works. Got to be fair. And I like kind of yank it as hard as I can.
Okay. How much damage is that?
So
Is it? Since you're moving it now.
Yes, it'll take 8 damage from the whip, and then it's 2d4. I'll roll 4d4, and because it's only 10 feet, so that'd be the 2 of them. And then you're processing, doing a lot. D&D Beyond rolled into the corner. Okay, so 6, so 14 total damage.
As you drag this across, that spike growth is just chewing it up. How does it die?
Oh, I like, get over here, man. And I pull, and it just, because it's also undead, right? I pull and it falls apart. Like the spikes themselves kind of rip it, and all I get left with is its like shirt, and it's like, well, this has got a bunch of holes in it now. It's not even worth anything. Toss it over my shoulder.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Voronika. There's one dot white left.
Seeing the one left, she kind of just takes what is now the empty moonbeam, and she goes, "And now your turn." And she shifts the moonbeam directly over to them, so that'll start on their turn.
Okay, which is now.
So they have to do a con save of 18.
It dies of stage fright. Spotlights on it.
Spotlight,
right?
It did roll a 5.
Okay, so it's failed, which means that is taking 13 radiant.
Not like that. And then it does, it's standing in the spike growth.
Yes, so it'll take 2d4.
It is also encapsulated in ghostly flames, so I don't know if our little sprite friends are having a conniption at this one.
They're
But
standing there talking, like...
Smoke, no smoke. There's no smoke. Remember, no smoke.
5 damage.
Right. Boy, it is on its last legs. It is going to use its Grave Bolt. Once again, it is going to aim at Gazrick. This one, you made that as a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then Voronika. This one is a 21.
That'll hit.
All right, so that is 14 damage for each of you. Is necrotic damage.
Cool. Ooh. Okay.
And it is going to hiss at you.
You cannot stop him. Candlekeep will fall. Vecna lives.
And it is Orkira's turn.
You know, I've heard that from a lot of minions. And I keep hearing it from a lot of minions. It's fine. I'm gonna fly up to Voronika. I still got my book in my hand. And where's the worst place that you've been hurt?
It's kind of hard to tell with her because the vines are constantly circling around and sort of hiding things. So it's more of a catch a vine and the vine will do the rest.
Okay.
For her.
So yeah, she's doing one of those. I'm gonna. Your aesthetic is really hard for healing, and I will just.
I know.
I will cast Cure Wounds on you from my book, so you get 10 health back.
Oh, thank you.
As Healing Fire just travels up one of your viney tentacles.
Yeah, the vines, not tentacles. They're vines.
Okay, that's good. I prefer that actually, even if they're kind of dark. Okay.
It's a druid thing. It's vines. It's not tentacles.
It's never tentacles from the other side.
Never ever tentacles.
Tentacles are never good. never good. And that's me.
All right, Nahara. There's one very rough looking white left.
I will just any last words?
Vecna lives.
Yeah, but does he though? And then I'm just going to like
I'm not getting into a semantic argument with you right now.
just little Eldritch Blast. With the nat 20 wasted on a
very
thing that's
nice.
about to die.
Hey.
It hits 2 hit points. How does this spectacular Eldritch Blast destroy the Deathlock White?
It pushes this white like clear into the bookshelf and then just like almost like smoke dissipating just like extends out and vanishes.
There's smoke now, but no fire. Like
Again, once again. Yes, where there's smoke, there's fire, but at this point, there's smoke, but no fire.
We're going to be confusing these, aren't we?
Oh, it's going to be a long day.
Oh well.
The library sits silent with the absence of the ravening hordes of Vecna. You can see the exit on the opposite side. Orkira is sort of picking up books and looking at them and putting them back on the shelves.
I appreciate the idea of cleanliness, but that's probably a later problem. Can we go to the place that's going to stop more of these from coming down?
Yes. Anyone can manage it. I think it's gonna be you. I'm worried about the readers.
They're more capable than you novices, though, right?
Yeah, but nobody's seen them for a while, and
Define a while.
Well, I saw Janusi and Alchrist, one of the other readers, when I was running the opposite direction. They were heading towards the Silent Stone, and they haven't come back out to mop up all these undead.
Okay, so they're called readers, but they actually do other things than read. They're not just better at reading than you are.
Yes, but
Okay.
reading is the most important part of a sage's journey to knowledge, because that is how we access the knowledge of our predecessors. So that's what the most learned and powerful avowed, the ones who get to decide who gets to do what and control the wards and things. Except Janusi is the keeper of tomes.
Nahara just like uses druidcraft to make a little rainbow of like the more you know.
Whereas Orkira has almost glazed over because the idea of like more book learning is not. I have one book. It took me a while to learn this one. All right, well let's go to the place that we're gonna have to find answers there at least.
Okay. Well, we'll go across here. We'll have to go through a couple of rooms, and then we should get to the Hall of Knowledge, which is the reading room before the Silent Stone. So come this way. She leads you across the long passage to the opposite side. And actually, this is a good point for us to take our break.
Hey.
So we will be back in 10 minutes to figure out what we can do to save Candlekeep. Or, let it fall, whatever.
Sure.
We'll see you guys soon. Welcome back to Idle Champions Presents Vecna Lives. Our party is trying to rescue Candlekeep, which is under siege by undead hordes who all whisper the same phrase. The title of this stream.
I mean, it's really good branding, but it's also kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
That's very fair. I don't think Vecna. I think Vecna is someone who has very strong branding and refuses to deviate from it personally.
He killed the last person that was working in his marketing department. And then he brought him back from the dead, and now they're one of the people who just wander around going, Vecna lives. It's just boring.
It's canon now.
That's really not good for your algorithm, though.
No, you shouldn't be your own CMO.
You
but
shouldn't. No, absolutely not. Such a bad idea.
Doomed to an unlife of PowerPoint presentations.
Oh, that's one of the 9 hells right there.
Right,
It certainly is.
So Orkira leads you on toward the Silent Stone, the anchor point of Candlekeep's wards. She pauses in the hallway and kind of looks, and she's like, I think this way will be faster, and heads for a door that leads you into a kind of hexagonal room. There are cubbies throughout, but there are some books that have been sort of pulled down from the shelves, but there aren't any undead in here. There is a door on the opposite side of the wall, on the opposite side of the room.
Is there a reason all the rooms are shaped differently? Is that supposed to say something, or did the architect just get bored?
Oh, if you asked Galen about it, he would probably have a lot of things to say about the theoretical resonance of different geometrical structures on thought processes, but it's mostly just that this place was built over centuries and people change their minds about what a nice looking room is.
Different
They
designs
say-
go in and out of vogue.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Sure.
Knowledge is eternal, but people are very fickle.
Right.
So
And
is interior decorating.
what is this room that we're actually walking through? What is?
Oh,
yeah.
This is a study room.
Oh.
That's all the little. Well, no one's in here now, obviously, but this is where we'd, if you had a book you wanted to focus on, you could reserve one of these spots. Most of these books aren't from here, I don't think, though, because usually it's just what have people brought with them. We need to go that way.
Too bad that Vecna wasn't just sitting in one of these cubbies.
That would have been
Or
so
Reading
convenient.
the book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It would have been convenient and terrifying, but
Oh,
convenient.
absolutely.
Yes.
Just
No.
imagining Orkira walking in and Vecna sitting there reading.
Legs crossed with a
introduction.
coffee.
Mhm.
Right?
She leads you guys across the room, out through the other door. On the other side of this door is a hexagonal room full of study carrels with a pile of books on one side jumbled up. There's a door on the opposite side.
I feel like I should ask the same question I asked when we entered the last room, or is that a bad thing?
This
Mhm.
this isn't what's supposed to be here.
Oh.
Oh.
What is supposed
So
to
it
be here?
should.
It's supposed to be a library full of tales of adventurers from pre-whaling years. Something's not right in here.
I'm gonna walk over and try to touch a book, see if it's an illusion.
Looks fine. You pick up a book.
Can I walk to the door that we entered from and
Mhm.
just do an investigation on the connection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as he's doing that,
Mhm.
I'm going to take out my crystal ball of scrying, which gives me true sight to see if there's something odd that I could see about this place.
Cool. All right.
3
Gazrick.
plus 7, so a 10.
Well, you look at the door. The door seems perfectly normal.
Okay.
But when you open the door and you look, you can see into the next room, which looks exactly like this room. And you can see yourself standing on the opposite side of the room, opening the door and looking out.
Oh, buddy. I think there's a mirror here. Now we're just kind of looking at each other. Do you see? Hello.
I walk
Hello.
over and I'm several feet taller than Gazrick, and I'm just gonna wave at myself.
You see the back of yourself waving into a door. Nahara, so true sight is going to tell you if there's any illusions or anything happening in the ethereal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Everything seems to be genuine. You're looking at a room that is, as far as you can tell, an ordinary study room.
Well, the good news is that I don't see anyone else in here.
What's the bad
Bad
news?
news is I think we're stuck in a loop.
Yes, I don't quite understand what this is.
So it might be a book.
Mm.
We've
Some
jumped
of the-
into a book?
No, it might be a book that's doing it. Some of the books in Candlekeep are magical.
Sure.
And so when they're not shelved properly or when they're thrown about, sometimes they can have ill effects.
Okay.
So we're supposed to maybe just tidy up the room?
I suppose
Mhm.
one of these is a magical book, is my best guess.
Right.
So I'm hearing we need to put all the books away so more hands will be helpful, yes?
Or if I dispel the magic of the book, would that hurt the book?
Yes, that would actually be. I would prefer that you didn't do that first.
Okay. Backup option. We can kill the book if we need to. But before then, we could try cleaning. Why not?
Sure. And at
Okay.
this point, Nika will have Hemlock come to her side. So her
Oh.
little Commandant companion can start help picking up books.
All right. So if you are going to go sort through the books, make a perception check.
Is that for just Voronika, or if any of us want to?
Anybody who's going to do it.
Ooh,
It is a
yes.
big pile of books.
That's a 24 for Nika.
Oh, nice.
And Nahara is nosy, so let's see what. Ooh, but I only rolled a 15, so I don't know.
Got a 17 plus 5, so a 22. Not as good as a 24.
I also got a 22.
Still good.
Nice. Yeah. still
I'm
good.
taking a moment every time I pick up a book to like read to see what it is, because Orkira is assuming that she's going to pick up a book that says how to make portals into another dimension or how to make a doorway look like it's a magic door. Like she's looking for something very obvious.
So yeah, you pick up, Orkira, you pick up books, one called The Tormented Syllabus, and one that is called The Burnished Codex. I'm just gonna use this little thing because it's kind of fun. Gazrick, you found a book called Nexus: Cry of Illuminated Dreams.
This sounds
It
like a good
looks
read.
Like a very intense and elaborate illustrated adventure story
Yeah.
that might involve multiple dragons.
Oh.
Oh.
Nahara, you pick up a book which is called Amnesia: Favor of Mercy. This also seems to be an adventure story.
I highly disagree with that. My amnesia has not been merciful.
Mhm.
But Voronika, you, having rolled the highest, find a book that is titled The Secrets of Extra-Dimensional Portals. And in your hands, you feel threads of magic spooling off of this.
Oh. This one might be the culprit, and she snaps the book closed and places it into Hemlock's mouth to make sure it stays nice and tidy and does not open up again.
The magic still seems to be threading off of it. Make me an Arcana check.
Sure. That is going to be an 18.
Okay. So with an 18, you do see how to disrupt the spell. And so how do you want to disrupt this spell? Because whatever you say is going to be the answer.
So basically what Nika's going to do is she's going to turn her back to everyone else and open the book again. And her face becomes extremely sunken and gaunt looking as her eyes flare dark liquid black. And her tongue extends out of her mouth, but it's actually a dark black sinuous vine as she uses her horrifying visage to basically scare the book into behaving.
You would not think that a book had sort of the eyes and the ears and the senses to perceive, but when you do that, the pages kind of twitch, curl, and it snaps shut, and you feel those threads of magic suck back into the book.
And then she'll turn around, it's like she's fixing her lipstick. Yes, it's all this from now. Don't worry.
Oh, hey,
Orkira.
Gazrick tried the door again.
I close it, pull it open.
The next room seems to be a library, once again in complete disarray.
Terrific. Great.
Once again, incredibly rude the way they left
Mhm.
these rooms.
Vecna, rude.
Stacking, looking at books and stacking them in order.
Voronika fixed it. We can go. We
I
can
think
go.
we can keep moving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
It's sort of, I'm not saying I want them to find the book, but if they just had the title, we could just find the book.
Right.
We wouldn't have to do all of this.
Question. Is that book alive like some of these other books?
It's not alive is a term that has a lot of weight to it.
Sure. But you wouldn't say it was an object.
It is sort of a magic item when you get down to it.
Okay.
But
Mm.
it seems to diminish it, you know.
I see. I'm debating whether or not trying to just cast locate creature on it if it was in somehow like animate in some capacity. But I think like Gazrick's like, no, I don't think that'll work. If it's fine, we'll find it on foot. We'll get there.
Well, if you can locate creature, can you just locate Vecna?
I mean, I can give it a
That's a good
shot.
point.
I'm not really that familiar with him, to be honest, but I mean, I can
that's a good
try. It's a very specific, I know the first and last, well, just first name of something.
Vecna, the whispered one, really evil lich sorcerer dude.
Okay, if they're within 1,000 feet of me, I can give it a shot. I'll like close my eyes and just try to think of this image of this name. It's specifically the way that these undead keep saying Vecna lives, like that image on their face of that what they thought of him. And I'd love to give that a shot.
Okay.
Right.
So you send out your consciousness and you have a sense that something is odd here. You don't feel like Vecna is present, but at the same time, Vecna is everywhere.
Conundrum. Okay. So good news, bad news. Good news.
That's our lives.
Yeah. Within 1,000 feet of me, can't really get a single location of him, which feels like hey, might not be around. Bad news, kind of feel like he's everywhere. So
Oh no.
yeah. I don't know what
Relatable.
that means.
That's creepy.
That is
That's
creepy.
never fun.
So goodness, we got to find this reader and figure out if we can at least get this book before these minions can.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just like looking at the walls, waiting for Vecna's head to just poke through a wall.
Right. Hitting on around every corner.
Yeah.
Arkia, if you're ready to move along, leads you into the next library. And through here comes out into a hallway where grand doors with sort of decorations of wizards and warriors sort of working together against this sort of, you think maybe it was meant to be a dragon, but it's definitely made up in like more kind of vicious, scary look to emphasize the danger. So this is the grand reading room. Through there, the other side is the Silent Stone.
Is there a reason we stopped? Is that a bad thing? I mean,
well,
doors are usually a bad thing, so I like the prep time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was not right here. So, but we're ready to go in. We can go in. If no one's gonna stop her, she's gonna move to push the door open.
I will take a moment as Orkira is stammering about actually having a moment.
Yeah.
And I'm very quickly gonna cast enhanceability on myself. So she's kind of saying, just give me like 6 seconds. And her hand looks like it lights up with fire, but I'm casting enhanceability. So listen, it's just gonna be everything I do. And she's gonna face palm herself, and I'm gonna cast what's the wisdom one? Whatever the wisdom one is, charisma checks, intelligence checks, Owl's wisdom. There we go.
Owl's wisdom, yep.
I'm going to cast Owl's wisdom, so I have advantage on wisdom checks. And then I would like to put my ear to the door. I want to listen real hard. Is there anything in the room?
So, perception check?
I would love to.
I'm also going to give you guidance with that.
Ooh.
You want to guidance me too, or I don't know. Do I get the guidance too? I don't know.
It's a cantrip. You can just, if you want it.
Oh yeah, sure. D4.
Yes.
Hey, so that would be a dirty 30.
Nice.
Okay.
Hey.
With your godlike hearing,
Overwatch.
Listen. The room beyond is eerily silent.
Eerie like trap
you
eerie
were-
or eerie like
Well, you know what? I am implying thoughts that you may not be having.
okay, fair.
There is nothing on the other side of this wall as far as your hearing can determine.
Okay. Well, if there's something in there, it's really, 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 really quiet. And I'll open the door.
All right.
Quiet's never good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna quickly pop a form of dread just in case
Right?
before we go in there.
Pre-dread.
Casey's.
Yeah.
A faint breeze stirs the air in this huge reading room that opens before you. But the space has been ransacked in an odd way. Chairs and desks are pushed to line the walls, and the double doors at the far side of the room are blocked by them, while thousands of books that once lined the shelves have been piled chaotically at the center of the floor. Well, easy enough. Those are the doors to the Tower of the Silent Stone.
And you said everything was pushed up against those doors, like barricading?
The doors are barricaded with piles of chairs and things.
That's odd.
Wouldn't you think it'd be the opposite?
Yeah.
Right? They're keeping something in, not letting something out.
And
Exactly.
what happened to the people who did that, who pushed all the doors? They would have had to have run
This
some
way.
way.
I want to get as close to those doors as possible, and because my enhanceability is up for an hour, I want to listen at that door and see.
Okay. As you move across the hallway, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh,
Of course.
a grand room just suspiciously empty? Never.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no.
I love it. I love it. 17.
19 for me.
We're grimacing at each other. Yeah. I rolled a 3. It was a natural 1. Orkira has that moment where she heads towards the door, then she goes, "Wait, no, I'm doing the rushing ahead thing. I'm not supposed to," and then doesn't see what's going on.
What did Nika roll?
A 7 total. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a
Hey, Erin, is it
whiteboard
cool
now
if
involved?
Hemlock comes along for the ride in terms of playing a little bit in combat?
Yes. I thought you meant your actual cat for a minute.
No.
That's what I thought.
If
That's
you could tell
Paint and
him
Slay.
no,
That's
then-
Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know. We wait long enough, and your cat might show up, and there you go.
No, I have the door closed right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So, in terms of initiative, Nahara, you are first. Orkira has said she wants to go listen at the door, but you can decide what you do.
I'm just getting a very bad feeling about this. And because we don't see anything yet. So I'm going to turn invisible
Okay.
and head in there like, let me just check. I know I
Okay.
can't do anything as far as whatever, but if nobody else goes forward, I could maybe inform. I don't know. We'll see what I don't know.
All right. So you turn invisible. You move into the room. as you approach that big stack in the middle, suddenly the books rise up and sort of move out and start sort of swirling around. And in the center of this tornado of books, there is one single glowing white book hovering above it. So you need to make me either a dexterity or intelligence saving throw.
Let's go with Dex. Ooh, that is an 11.
All right, a book smashes into you. You take 9 points of damage.
and I am seen
Unfortunately,
because I have taken damage.
Oh no.
Just whipping. Okay, Gazrick.
Okay.
The room is now a tornado of books.
Oh goodness. Using my bonus action, on a 3rd level, I'd love to summon a healing spirit, which is just going to be a large ice spider ethereally appears behind us, rising from the mist. Anyone who's within 5 feet of it, up to 6 times, can get 2d6 of it whenever they choose. Does not heal undead. I decide always. So I will let it heal me once now. I'll gain 4 health back. And then just gonna watch. I was like, this seems bad. I mean, maybe that book in the middle is important, but
I got smacked with one.
yeah, I don't know how to get through that. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit and
Hostile
yeah.
books.
Wait, why is there an ice spider here? What
No,
is
it's
that doing here?
It's okay, and I just move my hand through it. And it's like, it's totally fine. If anyone that gets hurt or anything, just come chill by it for a little bit. I'll take care of you. It's just kind of like skittering around behind us.
Right. Voronika.
Voronika's gonna walk into the room and make a point to position herself in front of everyone else. And glancing over to Nahara, well, I don't like the fact that it hit you in the head. And she's going to cast Thunderwave at the swirling books. Because no one hurts Nahara or Voronika's friends. So I'm going to do that sorry, I'm trying to read a spell and speak at the same time. So I'm going to cast that at 3rd level for funsies. It's a con save from the swirl of books, I guess. Oh.
What'd you get? Oh, I the book needs. Sorry. I totally blanked out. You roll the con save for this swirl of books. Come on.
Sure.
Okay, that is going to be a 14.
14 doesn't make it, so this is failed. So that is going to be 5, 11, 4 is 15, 6 is 21. Force, I believe.
Okay.
Or thunder damage. And they
what's
are
the radius?
10 feet away. It is a radius of, well, it's a 15-foot cube that originates in front of me.
Okay. So you cast this, and it sort of carves a path, shoving the books kind of out of the way. That bright book that was floating is sort of knocked to the side. It rises back up, but the tornado of books is kind of erratic. And so for the next round, you can move through the gap that Voronika cut in the tornado of books without getting smacked.
Cool.
Are you going to try to run through your gap?
Yeah, she's going to move forward, targeting towards the pretty book in the center is her goal point. And then Hemlock is going to attack a couple of books for good measure. Or at least one near it. So we'll go in with we'll do a bite and a claw. So it goes in with a bite, and that is an 11 to hit.
Okay, that will hit.
That is 6 damage on the bite, and then goes in with a claw, and that is a 13 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and then that is going to be 4 points. damage.
Okay. A magical book. Arkea's like, no! All right. Orkira.
So a bunch of these books have scattered. There's still glowing book though. Can I see what the book says? What's the title of this book?
You, if I recall correctly, have ridiculous perception, yeah?
So I have a plus 13 and my passive is 28.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say you can read the cover of this ivory bound book. It's The Arts of Telekinesis.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And considering what Voronika and Nahara had said about, wait a second, this has been barricaded to keep something in, not let something out. I want to take another sweep of the room and see, is there any other indications of anything else that's happening here? Because I think at this moment, Orkira thinks this is also a guardian trying to keep things in.
Okay. So that would make me a perception check.
Okay. I'm still concentrating.
I'm sure it's still gonna be bananas.
Well, we'll see. 25.
Semi-bananas? All right. So I know when you're Orkira, your expectation of perception check rolls is something different than mere mortals. Okay.
I do like 3 things really well, and that's one of them.
So, this room, like the previous room, seems to have been ransacked by Vecna's horde. There is nothing about it that feels particularly different except for the barricaded door. You do remember the scholars saying they saw readers running in this direction, and you have not seen the readers come out.
I don't know what that means, but that's a book on telekinesis, which explains the flying books.
Okay.
Good
Just
to
another
know.
book. Just another book.
And then I want to do one more thing. I'm going to look back at our guide. What was the name of one of the readers?
Janusi?
Do you have like a full name?
He doesn't have a last name.
Oh, perfect. All right. Like a musician. That's super cool. Do I still have an action, or is all of that my action?
So let's see. You ran. You did a perception check. I'll give you an action.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Sending to Janusi. Because I just need to kind of know who they are, and I'm gonna go, hi, we're here to help. We're in the room outside the Silent Stone Tower. Are you okay in there? If we go in, is there a problem? Also, I'm Orkira. 25
A
words.
voice in their head just starts to yell.
Yep.
I love sending.
Mhm.
It's just very entertaining.
That might be the best sending she's ever sent, actually.
Okay.
And then unless they're on another plane of existence, they hear me, they recognize me as the sender. If they know me, they can answer in a like mind immediately, which I'll let you decide if that means on my turn or later. And yeah, if they're on another plane, I have a chance that it fails.
So, you do the sending, and you'd receive back only silence. It doesn't feel like the spell failed like it does normally if someone's on another plane. It feels like you are trying to talk to someone who cannot talk back to you.
Okay. That's weird. I don't know what that means either.
Has Orkira ever tried to do a sending to someone who was unconscious?
Probably.
It feels like that.
Oh, okay.
Although there are so many ways to not be in charge of your brain in this world.
Yeah, tell
with
me
all
about
this
it.
kind of magic
Mhm.
that you really can't pinpoint what exactly happened, but you get the sense that Janusi is not able to respond because
Okay.
he's not able to hear you.
Okay, so at some point in the future, they're going to wake up and suddenly just get a message. That's going to be awkward. Well, if they're in there, they are unconscious or sleeping or unconscious. Let's go with unconscious. And that's all I'm going to do.
Okay. So for this one, Orkira is going to try to dash across the room. When she sort of reaches the middle, because she can only go about halfway across in a turn, she's going to grab at one of the books that comes out and sort of fling it to the side and knock some of the other books away. And then we are back to Nahara.
Let's see. I am going to, there's that center book in the middle of this tornado, and I am going to throw a witch bolt at it.
Okay.
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
For 14 points of lightning damage.
Okay. What happens when you hit this magic book with a lightning bolt?
So it's I'm assuming it's done. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like an exploding feather pillow, except little tatters of paper. It's like one of those party favors where it's just confetti.
I love it.
Nice.
Magical confetti.
Yeah.
Yes. Weirdly, the confetti sort of keeps swirling a little bit, like it's still got a little of that telekinesis magic, but it's failing. All the books that were up, they're gonna fall down. So everybody make me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, buddy.
Nope.
No bonuses on that.
Ah!
It's a good 4. It's a real good 4.
Nat 20 on that one.
Incredible.
I got the opposite. I got a nat 1 for
Nice.
3.
The good balance.
Why am I sending? That's a weird sending thing.
All right, so Gazrick and Orkira and Nika. What did Nika roll? You are muted, I think.
24.
Okay,
Nice.
so Gazrick and Orkira, you take 4 points of damage. The book crashes into you.
That was not pleasant when it hit me. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you, although you should keep that in mind for the wedding. It's very festive.
Oh, that's right.
I continue to concentrate on enhanceability.
Nice. How's everyone doing? Is anyone else hurt like me? Everyone okay? Who's gotten hit so far?
If you're hurt, we can take care of that after all.
The arts of telekinesis got very hurt. I thought you all respected knowledge.
We respect knowledge, but we also respect the fact that this needs to get fixed.
I respect self-preservation.
Absolutely.
Also, you just used a book as a weapon too.
That too.
To confetti.
Yeah, Gazrick, can I go stand by your spider for a second?
Absolutely. I'm going myself. And anyone else who's been hurt. It's still got 5 more uses on it.
Oh, and what's the roll for that?
It is 2. Actually, no. I did it at it's a 2nd level spell. I cast it at a 3rd level. It is 3d6.
Awesome. I've never been so happy to be next to something so cold before. Okay.
Oh, it's great.
So yeah, I just need 1, and then Are we still in initiative at this point?
No.
Actually, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything the room is calm again. It is just you, a bunch of books on the floor, and those blocked doors.
Yeah, Nika will take advantage of the ice spider too. She's more fascinated by the fact it's a spider than anything else, and kind of gets healed by accident almost.
Yeah. So go through. You put it as I bet you like if you try to touch it, that's what happens. Your hand goes through it, and you just feel better a little bit. A comfortable cryotherapy experience.
I like that. I'm keeping this one in mind.
It's not bad, you know.
It's good. I like the delivery.
I used one of mine as well. So there's 2 more uses, which I might burn additional one because I did get hit a bit. But if anyone else wants it, there's 1 left.
I'm good. I just got temporary hit points knocked out.
Oh, no.
Perfect.
I'm gonna look over at Nahara and say, do you have any way to use that fancy ball and like look through the door or look in? Because I have a bad feeling about what's in there. I don't think we're finding happy people.
I don't think I could see through objects.
I mean, it just looked like a really cool crystal ball, so I figured I'd ask.
It's more like if there's creatures. Oh, you know what? Wait. If it's I don't know if it works through spaces. It's just 100 and let me look up the scrying spell. Somebody else do something while I look this up.
So Nika will look over to Gazrick, and she just sort of places a hand on his shoulder. You know, I really like your technique. I'm going to keep this in mind.
Yeah.
If you ever need a little boost for yourself, let me know. I've got you covered.
Oh, great, good. It's good to have options in the future. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Back to it. Don't know how many more of those I've got in me, but we'll see how the rest of the days goes. I'm feeling okay.
Excellent. We druids need to take care of each other.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
And I'm here to take care of the three of you, and I'll hold up my book. And I still got plenty of healing to go around as long as they don't put it out. And I look at the sprites that are probably glaring back at me.
Yeah.
They're probably all frazzled at this point.
Call all their buddies just to watch. Like, dude, you're gonna see the wildest thing. It's not what you think it is.
It's fire, but it's not fire, and it goes
fire.
backwards, and it's weird.
Orkira has gone up to the pile of furniture and is trying to pull a chair out.
I'll go help, but mostly just to help her keep it quiet, because I still think this is now an alarm to let people on the other side of the door know that we're coming and that those are bad people.
Also, there's no. I just want to say that there's no mention with True Sight of being able to see through things. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you cannot see through walls.
Okay, I think that's true.
Yeah.
If you are wanting to help her pull stuff out, it is an athletics check.
Oh, am I good at athletics? I can try. I can guidance myself.
I should have enhanced the thing that makes me stronger.
I'm gonna try this. Oh no. No.
Oh no.
I rolled a combined, hang on, I got it, combined 7.
Nice.
Oh,
solid.
The two of us come up to a desk, and you actually manage to pick it off the ground just a little bit, and Orkira goes to the other side and goes, and like her wings are flapping, and she's straining because I rolled a 1 for a 2.
Oh.
We have to move this.
Okay.
With a mage hand work.
Well, everyone move, and I'll
work.
just shove it out of the way again. Just get behind me.
Okay. I have a -1 to my strength, so that sounds great.
But I can give you guidance.
Yeah.
Nika will absolutely do Thunder Wave again.
All right.
To push things out of the way.
All right, we're going in hot.
That's a con save of 18 for the pile of furniture.
Pile of furniture is not even trying, like, it's not even a book moving thing, so it's just gonna fail.
Okay.
The ottoman doesn't even try. Jeez.
It doesn't even. So that's 12
All
of
right.
thunder.
And you push
back 10
so
feet.
you push it loose. I'm gonna say you break up this barrier enough that you can kind of drag the other pieces away and get the doors open. It is not quiet, but it is done.
No, there's a loud thunderous boom that happened. So
if something's awake in there, they'll know we're coming. So that's good. Yeah.
I am, if anything, not subtle.
Oh, perfect.
But
not
quick.
complaining. Not complaining whatsoever.
Same. Very quick.
Yeah.
Taking a look around at the party at this bunch. Yeah, I don't think subtlety is our specialty.
No.
I mean, I try, but I fail all the time. All right.
Through the door. Before you go in, Orkira is like, whatever is in there, I need you guys to understand that this is one of the most precious parts of Candlekeep. Only the readers are allowed in the Silent Stone.
Do I have to give you another book or something?
No. I just, so much of coming here is finding knowledge, and you're so fortunate to see this. Hopefully it's not full of dead bodies.
Well, whatever's in there, we're gonna find
Fingers
knowledge,
crossed.
right? We're gonna get knowledge of how to fix this.
Mhm.
Ready to go in?
Ready.
Let's do it.
So you pull open the doors to the Silent Stone. This circular chamber must once have been a great magical laboratory and workroom. It's about 100 feet across, but the power within it has been corrupted and transformed. You see on the walls these intricate glyphs and stone structures, which are clearly the wards. There are sort of crystals on top of them that seem to be making a connection for that magic. Two of them, the crystals, are blank. The one opposite you still glows faintly red. On the floor, there is a magic circle 30 feet across that is red light and black shadows, and kind of moving as it etches into the stone. When you look up, there are about 40 feet above you 24 figures in the robes of the readers, hanging suspended in shimmering silver magic, their arms spread wide, their blank faces upturned. Amongst the wreckage and near that last ward, you see 8 ghouls clambering around. And when the door, well, actually, first of all, you're all very perceptive, so I'm going to assume you are going to look throughout this room and notice that up at the ceiling, far overhead, barely visible, is a roiling mass of oily black shadow that slowly swirls.
Ooh.
As you enter the room, the doors close behind you, and Orkira says, "Thank you for coming."
Of course. Gosh.
Oh, I know this trick.
You turn, and in your absence, she has clawed her eye once more. You're here to welcome the Whispered One, the master of my mind and heart, the keeper of secrets.
Nope. And I would like to immediately turn undead. I've heard this speech before.
Are you aiming it at her?
Yeah. Although if I catch anything else, you know, I'd at least
she's by the doors, and the ghouls are on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah. I'd be trying to interrupt her monologue. Sorry, Erin.
That's okay. It washes over her unaffected. She is not undead.
Well,
she spreads her arms. She says, "I am the voice of Vecna. I will be the one to welcome him. But your power will help fuel his transition, and perhaps one of you will become his vessel. Like I said, you are so lucky. And you can roll initiative."
Your definition of lucky and mine are very, very different. Wow, this is the 3rd natural one in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Holy
No.
mackerel.
Uh-oh.
Well, I got a 6, so I'd love to see how this plays out.
I rolled a 17.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. I'm too busy trying to turn undead.
Yeah, your back's focused on them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nahara is 17, and Voronika?
Dirty 20.
Nice. Good, we got balance. There'll be a moment where we all act in order.
Right.
It'll happen. Yeah,
We're bookending the initiative.
exactly.
Okay. So, Orkira is going to go first.
Beat a
And-
dirty 20. My goodness.
Yeah, she had.
Well, she was the only one prepared for
she-
this moment.
yeah,
I guess.
that's
right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
also-
correct.
Canonically,
Yeah.
Spent the
makes
whole
sense.
walk over planning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She is going to she's going to cast Dimension Door and actually transport herself to the opposite side of the room near to the ghouls.
No.
And that is going to be her action. And so then it is Voronika's turn.
Voronika turns on her heel. She goes, "Oh, I've played this game before, my dear. This is nothing new for me." And she narrows her eyes, and the vines seem to extend from her fingertips as she raises her arm. And she casts Wither and Bloom a la Wither style. She's going to cast it at, let's throw that out at 5th level. And I need a con save of 18.
Okay. So you're casting this on Arkia?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the range of it?
60 feet.
Okay, so she went across this 100-foot room to the other side, so she is actually out of your range right now. You can move towards her first.
I'm going to move towards her then. Yeah, I'll move towards her then to get in range.
Okay.
Yep. So move forward to get into range.
Gotta do a con save. Okay, she rolled a 16. Sounds like it's
That's
not
a fail. So that is going to be 21 necrotic.
Okay. She winces as your spell passes over her, but she glowers at you in a way that makes you think it probably didn't stick quite as hard as it normally does.
Okay. Then in addition to that, how's everyone doing in terms of needing some health? Because someone can take a hit die and regain a number of hit points equal to
I'm topped off thanks to the ice spider.
Everyone's topped off?
Yeah, I burned up. Yeah,
then that's just going to fall. All right.
But good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then one of the ghouls is going to turn from what it's doing and start toward you, but it will not be able to get to you in time. Nahara, it is your turn. And before you take action, you do notice something. That circle on the ground, your arcane training lets you see that this circle is powered by the magic of the wards. And if you can disrupt this circle, you should be able to reset the wards as well.
How do we disrupt this circle? I say, like, kind of out loud to everybody so that they could hear it, but sort of mumbly.
You can make an Arcana check to see if you know how to disrupt the circle.
Okay.
I will add one other thing because I think that you can figure this out based on what you're looking at. The two wards that have gone dark are clearly the ones whose magic has been poured into the circle. That would be the theft ward. Well, that would definitely be the teleportation ward, and by process of elimination, probably the theft ward, because there is one ward that is still active, still has the active crystal. That's probably the fire ward.
Okay, so I did roll a nat 20 on that check.
Oh,
nice.
Oh. This is very, very clear, very straightforward. It's textbook, really. Really, there's 3 ways that you see that you can disrupt this magical nexus. But you're gonna have to do it progressively. You've got to hold it. You could use sort of that same arcane knowledge, also known as making an Arcana or Religion check, to disrupt the flow of the magic. You could smash the stones that the circle is kind of anchored to with a athletics check. But also, this particular kind of spell has a physicality to it. So one could theoretically use sleight of hand to create a disruption through resonance of that circle. So it's either Arcana, Religion, Athletics, or Sleight of Hand.
Okay. And I sort of use message to inform the group of all of that, and so this could be a group effort. But I would like to do a sleight of hand.
All right.
And see if
so go ahead. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. 18 plus so 24.
Oh yeah. So you manage to sort of grab hold of that magic, and you can feel the vibration of it. And you kind of snap it like a whip and create this sine wave flowing through that magic circle. It's kind of bouncing on the floor now.
I think it's working.
Okay.
If you say so.
And that will be my action.
Awesome.
All right. So you have moved to the middle where the circle is. That will allow this ghoul to run up and attack you.
Okay.
It is going to slash at you with its claws. 16 hit.
16 is just what it needed.
Okay.
So it meets it, beats it, right?
Yeah.
7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Are you actually undead as a
reborn? It's kind of a gray area, but she's and also she's an undead war.
Type?
I am the undead warlocky type, so there is a undeadiness to me. But
basically, if you are undead, ghoul venom doesn't affect you. So that's my question.
I am resistant to
type.
poison damage because of my lineage. If it's poison damage, then I do have resistance.
It is different than that. It is. So the question is, do you have like the undead type? In your, is a reborn undead type?
Yes, but I think it would show up in my defenses. So I may be taking it's. I'm gonna make that your call.
If reborn or undead type, it doesn't take effect.
Okay.
It just hurts a lot when it goes, but it does not affect you in the other way, which is probably good.
Okay.
All right, Gazrick.
Mm-hmm.
It is your turn.
Okay. And so the rest of the ghouls are coming towards us. And Nahara's at the front of them, and the ball of shadow is within the circle.
The roiling shadow is on the ceiling high
Okay.
above you.
Okay. I would like to and I can make when I make an arcana check or religion check or sleight of hand check, any of those options, or an athletics, which we know won't be happening.
That's true.
Right? Is that a free action? Is that your
action?
That is my action. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna run up and then I'm gonna cast or do an arcana check to see if I can figure out what to do with this ritual. Well, it's 6 + 3, so what does that 9 get me?
So getting a 9, you think maybe that you can sort of kind of nudge the magic a little, maybe knock it off.
Okay.
So you go to do that. How do you want to go to do that?
I think I didn't see things the way Nahara did. I didn't see the process, and I'm just trying to emulate the finger movements or like the way the magic I saw was manipulated. And I don't think I'm getting as good of a hold. It's like, can you walk me through exactly what you did with this? Because I'm kind of struggling to imitate.
Am I able to answer?
So here's the thing. You did not roll high enough to actually achieve it.
Yeah.
So this might be where you do try it on your own.
Right.
And you take 11 points of damage from the magical feedback.
I wait for a response,
man.
and then I get shocked by a bunch of psychic damage running through me. Heck yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. Which is when a ghoul runs up and tries to bite you.
Fun.
It's only a 6.
Okay. That does not beat my 10.
Ghoul slobber on you.
It's in the foam, now slobber. This Candlekeep is messy, man.
Yeah.
All right. This ghoul is going to make a run for the ones in the back. Orkira, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna fly about 15 feet up into the air and position myself so I'm within 30 feet of all of my friends. And she's got her fist out and opens it up, and there's 4 little red beetles in it, kind of glowing with magical energy, and they go flying out to each one of you and me. And when it lands, it kind of leaves this little warmth on the top of your head as I'm casting Bless on all of us. And you'll hear Orkira say, I can't help with anything that Nahara just said, so I'm going to help you not to hit harder and not get hurt. And she's, going to take up her Overwatch position. So you all have Bless, which means every single attack roll and saving throw you can add a d4 to.
Terrific.
Because, all the things that Nahara said to do in order to do the thing, Orkira does not. She can't. There's negatives to most of those.
I will mention she did figure out you could use a religion check.
That's a negative. That's a -1.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Remember, I'm not a book reader. This is the only book that I really know.
That is true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. Oh, no.
Are you okay?
Oh no.
I'm fine.
Oh.
I'm fine. The readers around you that are shrouded in silver, once that Nahara gets that, once you whip the magic and you get that resonance going, the silver around them starts to fizz, and suddenly they are dropped unceremoniously to the ground. They are still unconscious, so far as you can tell. But then one of them stands up and looks over at you. And their eyes glowing faintly. And they say in this empty monotone, Vecna lives. And then he's going to point a finger at one of you. I'm gonna roll to see who I have to do this to. Orkira.
Hi.
And this possessed reader is going to cast a spell.
If you're pausing dramatically, I don't have counterspell.
No, I'm not. I'm looking it up. Oh. You have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So it's going to be that plus 15. So 19.
Okay. Good news. That's high enough. So you're only going to take half damage as the Keeper of Tomes cast Finger of Death on you.
No, that is not, no. Because I know what happens after that works.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
We got you. We're ready.
Okay.
You have so many options.
Nothing like, let's kill you and turn you into a zombie. Nope. Wow, am I really glad I cast Bless then?
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so that's only going to be 30 points of damage.
Okay.
That's already halved?
That's already halved.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah, she reels in the air a little bit. And I do get to hold on to my Bless.
All right. I rolled which one woke up, and I feel very bad. But Arkia doesn't. She's very excited about all of this. She is going to extend a hand, and despite the fact that all this time she has presented herself as a very useless little scholar, she's going to cast a pair of spells, one each at Gazrick and Nahara. So it's a 15 to hit Nahara.
It doesn't hit.
Okay, and a 26 to hit Gazrick.
Would love to say that it doesn't hit. Would love to be able to do that. No, that probably leaves a hole through my chest. Yeah, tell me what happens.
That is 17 damage.
Cool.
And you need to make a strength saving throw.
It's not a good one. Okay, 17 damage, and then a strength saving throw.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Not bad for me. 18 minus 1.
All
That's a
right.
17. Okay.
Plus a D4.
Plus a D4.
Don't forget that.
Hashtag blessed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Works out great. It's only a 1, but that's okay. I'm back up to 18.
their tentacles sort of like, this time it is tentacles. Shadowy tentacles reach out of the ground and try to wrap around you, but fail. All right. So she turns to the ghouls and she says, hurry it up. Voronika, it's your turn.
Okay, Voronika, picking up on what Nahara was telling them earlier, is going to attempt a sleight of hand on what's going on with this ritual ceremony. And in order to do so, she's going to send Hemlock charging towards the reader who woke up to see if they can knock them prone type of situation.
Awesome.
So do you want the sleight of hand first, or do you want Hemlock to do
That's your call.
Okay, so I'll do sleight of hand first.
What feels narratively dramatic.
Okay. So sleight of hand I will do, and that is going to be a 16.
With the +4.
Oh, with a +4? Hold on. Wait.
The blessed is not.
Wait, no, it's not. It's only for saving throws and
only
attacks.
saving throws and attacks.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
a 16 is enough to manage you mimic Nahara's move, and you kind of add another little whip to it.
Cool.
And the spell circle starts sort of fizzing as it continues.
Okay, so
disrupted.
then Hemlock's going to charge towards the reader, not out to hurt the reader, more to see if they can kind of just knock them over. So, how would you want to do that? If it's not an attack, it's more like a strength?
You can attack and we'll just treat it like a subdual.
Okay, cool. So that is going
Narratively
to
pounce
be
them.
a 21 to pounce, we'll call it. That works.
That hits.
Okay. So Hemlock will pounce on top of this reader and sort of knock them down on the floor, and he's hissing from his cat-like mouth, as are the other snake heads, all basically hissing down at this reader.
Okay. So you knock the reader to the floor. Something black streams out of his mouth. It circles. It heads up toward that roiling darkness. If your eyes follow it, you see a face press through and turn and snarl and then withdraw. Another bead of blackness comes out, shoots around the room, and this one is going to fly into a different reader's mouth, and a tiefling stands up. Same thing, eye glowing, says, Vecna lives. And she is going to... Actually, I'm not going to make her go so I can look up her spell. All right, so this ghoul has made it across. It is going to attack Voronika.
I have a bonus action, though. Can I use my bonus action?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That's fine. At least I think it's a bonus action. Yes, it is. I am going to use my Balm of the Summer Court and use some Fey Energy Pool for Gazrick. So how about 4d6? Would that sound good to you?
That sounds great. I mean, Orkira got hit with a 30 hit point ray of death.
So
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, healing is healing. I'm also looking to do some healing, so do whatever you need.
Cool. I'll pass it forward. I'll pass it forward.
Okay, so then Orkira, you get 4d6.
Yeah.
Okay. You roll or I roll?
I'm fine with whatever. DM, what do you prefer?
I genuinely don't care. It's your healing spell, so you roll.
Okay. And this is why I like using my own muse dice. That is 13 points healing.
Thank you.
No, sorry, 15 points healing. Take it back. 15 points healing.
Thank you again.
You're very welcome.
Okay. The ghoul that was running towards you, Voronika, bites at you for 17.
Mm-hmm. That hits.
Okay. It does 5 damage, and you have ghoul slobber on you.
Ooh.
Nahara.
You know, I'd
it is your
say it's
turn.
disgusting, but this is not unusual.
I would like to do another sleight of hand check, please.
Okay.
Ooh, 29.
Okay. So you do another one of these whips. The magic is frazzling out. It comes around, it bounces into itself, and shatters with a burst of light. When that fades, you see the crystals over the wards glowing again. So the wards are back up. However, there's still a bunch of ghouls in this room, and Orkira is very angry.
That roiling black shadow is also still on the roof,
That
right?
roiling black shadow, I believe, is gone. Yeah, the roiling black shadow absorbs back in. Before it disappears, you see that face stick out once more and says, "Next time."
Ha! It
Vecna
worked.
is no longer intruding into Candlekeep.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Now that's just all these chumps left. We can handle chumps.
We can handle chumps.
Yeah.
We can handle jumps.
All right. This ghoul is going to attack Nahara with its claws for 24.
Yeah, that hits. That one is.
All right. That's a 7 damage.
All right.
And let me see. Okay, so it is Gazrick's turn. Gazrick, can you make... Actually, no, go ahead.
Okay. I will cast a healing word at 4th level. And that's 18 will go to Orkira. And then I will use my action. I'm going to run forward. And I want to cast Wind Wall and make a barrier pushing any ghouls that I can, or just like putting a wall up between us and the remaining, just protecting us.
Okay, great. 4 of the ghouls were standing around the fire ward trying to do the thing to channel it. So they're all on that side of the room with Orkira.
Yeah.
And then there's still the other 4 ghouls. I think you'll catch one of them in that.
Perfect. Just kind of push them against that. If they try to cross, though, anything has to take 3d8 damage. But yeah, I'll just be concentrating on that. And that'll be my turn.
Awesome. All right. So this ghoul is in the wind wall, and it needs to... What does it need to do to get across? Take damage?
It needs to make a strength saving throw, which is a save of 20.
Oh, wait, it did not make it.
It'll take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
So let's roll 3d8s. It'll take 19 damage as it's buffeted back. Yeah. I'm officially out of 3rd level spell slots. And it happens. I got I've got 1/5 just in case and a few others. That's all we need, right?
All right. Its friend is gonna do the same thing. Ooh, it rolled real bad.
Nice.
Actually, let's just roll it one time because these 3 ghouls are all going to try to get across it.
Perfect.
So just tell me the damage for all of them.
We'll do it together. This one's 17.
Get up. All right. So these ghouls come. They're trying to get across. They're torn up by the wind wall. Orkira, it is your turn. Orkira, can you make me make me a perception check anyway.
Sure. That is a 29.
Okay, so the fire ward that they were trying to redirect, you notice that the thing that tells you this one is intact is that crystal at the top. So they all had the crystal at the top. This one's still glowing. You are pretty sure if you blew up that crystal, you would turn off the fire ward.
Do it.
Yeah, but then like, is that what they want? Is that what they're trying to do? Or they're just trying to channel?
No. They were trying to take the energy from the word and channel it into the circle. They did not want to destroy the word. They wanted to pull the battery over.
All right. Yeah, sure. Why not? I was going to do this anyway. Okay. She's looking at the creatures below her, but now she's going to eye that ward. She's going to eye everything on over there. And she's just going to shout to the ether because she knows the pixies are around. This isn't real fire. She's going to cast spiritual weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And the spiritual weapon comes out in the form of a giant ball of magma, but it is force damage. But it will be a giant ball of magma looking. And I can make it appear within 60 feet, and it's a bonus action. And when I cast it, I also get to make an attack with it.
Nice.
I would like to attack the glowy crystal that's stopping me from doing fire damage.
Awesome. Do it.
Okay, here we go.
Kill it with not
20
fire.
Kill it with force. 25 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, and I rolled max damage. 13 force damage.
It shatters. You feel this whoosh of magical energy. And Orkira looks at you in absolute horror. Some part of her is still a scholar of Candlekeep, and she's like, what the what?
Great. So that was my bonus action.
Bonus action.
I can't cast a fire spell at the moment, but you know what I can do is I'm going to fly the rest of my movement, because I got 50 feet to fly. I'm going to come on over to where she and any of these other ghouls that are right there, and you're going to hear Orkira, I've been waiting to do this all day. And I'm going to breathe on all of them. I need anyone in a 15-foot cone over in front of this thing to make a dexterity saving throw DC 15. I get to do, and they'll take half damage if they succeed.
Okay, one ghoul made it. These two did not make it. These two did not make it. Okay, you got one lucky ghoul and a bunch of very unlucky ghouls and an unlucky Orkira.
All right, everybody who failed takes 12 fire damage. If they succeeded, they take 6.
Great.
And my spiritual weapon is still up, and the bless is still up because clerics, and I am done.
2 of those ghouls are destroyed in your... Sorry. Yeah. 4 of those ghouls are destroyed.
Yes!
Yeah. So 4 of them are still up. Orkira is still up, and it is actually Orkira's turn. So she is going to try and make. She is going to try. How high up does the wind wall go?
The wind wall is, I can make it 50 feet long and 15 feet high.
Okay.
She's going to try. It's only a foot thick, so if you can just get up and over, yeah.
She's going.
I'm assuming that's what I did. So
right, yeah.
To fly, and she's going to come up, try to come up over the wind wall, but that is going to take her whole action to do. This ghoul is going to again attempt to get across. Is it 18?
No. Just close. It's 20, so it's.
Yeah. Okay. So that one and these two get 2 ghouls for the wind wall.
Nice.
Okay. It'll be the same roll. 13 on this one.
All right, they're both dead.
So all that's left now is
one job.
Well, there's also the possessed sorcerer, right? Or
that sorcerer. Sorry, when the portal, the thing closed, they dropped.
Oh, okay.
The effect of Vecna is not able to reach through the planes without that open. So, it is Nahara's turn. There was one ghoul. There was one Orkira. There are a bunch of knocked out readers.
Go for Orkira. And I'm going to use my last 3rd level spell and hit her with a witch bolt. That is a 23 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay.
Voronika, did I skip you accidentally?
I'm wondering if yes.
I did. Okay. So you finish and then Nika can go. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I just looked up and I was like, what did she do? Okay.
27 points of lightning damage.
Awesome. She is arrested in the air, crackling with lightning. All right, Voronika, it's your turn.
So Voronika looks at this hovering little girl, and she just gets this smirk on her face. You see, my dear, the very big problem with your plan is that you relied on someone else to get what you want. Always, always. work for yourself if you want to get results. Speaking as one with experience. Now, little mouse, it's time you go into the trap. And she's going to cast polymorph on her and turn her into a mouse.
Ooh.
Amazing.
I love it.
And then let's see if this happens. That's going to be a wisdom 18 save.
She does not have a wisdom bonus. It is an 11.
So she turns into a mouse, and as soon as she turns into a mouse, Hemlock goes charging over and picks the mouse up in its muzzle, but holds the mouse,
Ooh.
basically trapping it.
I love it.
Right. There is one ghoul left. Gazrick, do you want to mop up this ghoul?
Yeah, absolutely. All
Do
right,
it.
buddy. Time to end this. And I just cast Cone of Cold on it. I just into the corner behind the wall. It'll take 43 damage if it beats a con save of 20. It's the only
That's
fifth spell
43.
slot I had.
I love it. I love it. Just, go out with a bang.
Absolutely. The wind wall disappears just for me to blow this one ghoul into a snowy corpse.
And it is. You want to describe how with 10 hit points?
It's with 10 hit
Cool,
points. It freezes. It's literally, as you're saying, it just becomes a frozen, nice statuette in this beautiful. It looks like we're needed some decor. There's lovely art piece now that you can keep. I'm sure. Don't let it thaw. It will smell terrible. But in the meantime, just keep it cold, which is something you all seem to be fine with. Don't put fire near this.
Oh, the threat of Vecna is ended with that last ghoul's destruction, and the nefarious plan to break him out of the Shadowfell is ended for now.
Dun, dun, dun.
The readers can all be resuscitated, and they will tell you that this was clearly a trap. They see it now. Also, Orkira, as soon as you fix up Janusi, who is that guy that finger of death you, he gets the rest of the sending. He feels terrible. He feels really terrible.
It's all right. It's all right. I've been in your position before. And
No.
I'll also, just for the flavor of it, Gazrick, I did a healing word on you to fix you up because I felt bad. So you got 26 health back.
Oh, terrific.
And,
That's
and-
exactly what I needed.
oh, that's exactly what I rolled.
Yeah.
And I'll be saying, I usually hate snow and ice, but I'm kind of a fan of what you just did this ghoul. I can get behind that.
Well, thank you. Honestly, cold isn't as bad, but it's the reason why I left the Frostfell. You just need a touch of it every once in a while. I'd rather be on a beach, tell you that much.
That we can agree on.
The Keeper of Tomes thanks you again. You have done a great service to Candlekeep. You are welcome to have as many personal pan pizzas as you want.
Yes!
You have jalapenos,
A
right?
freeze frame of all of us jumping in the air.
You have jalapenos, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
One topping per pizza, please.
Being for
Oh.
personals.
What? That's the
I'm
freeze
with you.
frame,
I
isn't
don't have
That's
to
the
mushroom.
free,
mushrooms.
all of us real.
You have 3 personal pan pizza, but only 1 topping? What?
What?
That is our end for Idle Champions Presents Vecna Lives. Thank you so
Yay.
much. We could just go around, remind everybody who you are, where they can find you, and what cool things are you working on. So we'll go backwards. Masood, you can start.
Hey everyone, I'm Masood. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Maroodboy, MAHRUDEBOI. Right now, Rivals is currently on a season. We just had our season finale a few months ago. We're coming back up in October, so I'm kind of kicking it. I've got some stuff in my personal life. If you're in Chicago, you can keep track of some of those shows on my Twitter. But if not, just keep an eye out for when Rivals comes back. And that's really all I got going on right now.
Lauren?
Hi, I'm Noura Ibrahim. I'm the content coordinator at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. So I do a lot of things on this Twitch channel. There's other things I do outside this Twitch channel. Like on Tuesdays, I'm on the Demiplane RPG channel where I play a very squishy druid. And then on Fridays, there's Radiant Stories over on Be Neverending's Twitch channel, where I am the DM for a bunch of awesome people who are playing through Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel and some other homebrew stuff in there. But we're having a lot of fun with that book. And you can follow me on Twitter as OboLauren to find out when I'm actually going to play Obo again, which might happen soon.
Right, Noura?
Hello, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Noura Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere at Neurological. Wednesday nights, you could find me streaming with Play Renegade, our Miami Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. On Thursdays, you could find me on D&D's official Twitch channel for Black Dice Society, which Voronika also sometimes makes an appearance as our very wonderful Dark Lord. On Fridays, you can catch me on the Glass Cannon playing our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Time for Chaos, which is where we're doing an entire playthrough of Masks of Nyarlathotep, which is amazing. September 30th for season 2 of New York by Night on World of Darkness. They announced our all Camarilla cast, so I will be on there. That's also on Friday nights. And I just got nominated for 2 Gamehers Awards for Cosplayer of the Year and for Creative Streamer of the Year. So voting starts September 9th.
Heck yeah.
Right, Vee?
Hi, I'm Vee Mus'e. I am the partner and talent manager here for Codename Entertainment. You can find me, as Noura said, every so often on Thursdays on the Black Dice Society as Voronika, your Dark Lord of Koshmar. You can also catch me on other Thursdays on Mini Terrain Domain as Cantriel Cavatina, the sassy bard. And you can also catch me on Fridays here for Paint and Slay, where we are having some fun. Join us. What is it, Wednesday today? Join us on Friday, where we're going to keep building our Iris the Beholder mini and getting it some color, hopefully. So that's at noon Pacific. And anything else, just come and find me over on my Twitter, Vee_Mus'e, and there'll be more to share there.
And I'm Erin M Evans. You can follow me on Twitter at Erin M Evans. You can listen to my podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit, with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis. New episodes every week. You can join me on Mondays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers for Concentration Check, a co-writing space. And my new book, Empire of Exiles, comes out this November 8th. And if you have not already, there is currently, right this second, a flash pre-order sale at Barnes & Noble. So if you type in pre-order 25, you will get 25% off.
Nice.
It is a magical murder mystery with archivists and detectives and scribes in a fantasy world, and I love it so. Thank you again for joining us. Don't forget to sign into the game to get your very own special gift to celebrate Idle Champions' 5th anniversary.
Yes.
Happy anniversary to our favorite game.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again for joining us, and have a good day.
And thank you. You were an awesome DM.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So much fun.
Just gonna sneak that in there before we wave goodbye.
Bye.